MLS conference semifinals are here finally after the long break. We had a great international window with a lot of good games that went on during that time, but kind of glad MLS is back. I hate the fact that this happens in the playoffs, but hopefully also some news through the international break is the schedule change for MLS. So we won't have this in the playoffs once that switch starts. But also, MLS, what are you doing with these times? The times of these matches are just ridiculous. 9:30 Eastern time. They're on Saturday for Vancouver and LAFC, and then Monday at 10 p.m. Come on. What are we doing here? Why do we have such weird times? I know that San Diego shares the stadium. They are borrowing a stadium pretty much with Snapdragon Stadium, but why? Why are we having these times? It's a little bit ridiculous. But that's my rant for MLS as for right now. But if you want to get involved in these predictions, join the Nerdy Soccer Table there. The QR code is on the screen. The winner of the Nerdy Soccer Table will get an MLS kit of their choosing, but it's really down to Let's Go Crew and Joey Betts. Still need to get involved though. It's always fun to see what you do through the playoffs or even in this week. So make sure you join in on that. It's free, it's fun. No one gets your email address. Only me. So make sure you join in. It's a lot of fun. Now, enough of all that. Let's jump into the preview and predictions of these conference semifinals. Now, kicking off there on Saturday, we have Vancouver Whitecaps versus LAFC. Vancouver beat Dallas in the round of three by winning the first match 3-0 at home, and then going on the road and winning in penalty kicks. That match ended 1-1, and Vancouver wins on penalties. LAFC handling business there against Austin, winning 2-1 at home, and then winning 4-1 on the road against Austin FC. So they're looking good right now. They are in great form. The last time that these two teams met was in LA, though, and that match ended in a 1-0 victory for Vancouver. But the last time that they played in Vancouver was back on May 11th, and that match ended in a 2-2 draw. Will we see a draw here in penalty kicks? I don't think so. I don't think that we're going to see penalty kicks in this one. Vancouver currently 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5 matches, where LAFC 3 wins, a draw, and a loss also in their last 5 matches. Vancouver, though, at home look good this season with 10 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses, where LAFC on the road, not the greatest road record there with 6 wins, 7 draws, and 4 losses. I thought LAFC dominated in their round of 3 series where Vancouver did not. I expected them to play a lot better. Yes, they did win a game 3-0, I believe. Yes, they won the first match 3-0, but I think that they could do a little bit better. Both teams are healthy in this one, and I with that long break they should be. So will that long break either help Vancouver, hurt Vancouver, help LAFC, or hurt LAFC? I like what Vancouver have done this season. They have had a fantastic season, and I wouldn't mind Vancouver going through in this matchup. I do like Vancouver. I think they deserve to move on, but at the same time, with Sun and Buwanga, that duo, they're just they're just too good, and I think they're going to be too good for Vancouver's back line. So I'm going to have to say it. I think LAFC win this match 3-2 over Vancouver on the road. Yes, Vancouver look good at home. They have Mueller and everything, but I think LAFC's defense is a little bit better than the Whitecaps. You could disagree with me. If you do, tell me down below. That is fine. Tell me who you think will move on in this game and any other game there in the comments. But I'm going to go with it here. I think LAFC move on here in the playoffs 3-2 over the Whitecaps. Now, for our first match there on Sunday, we have FC Cincinnati versus Inter Miami. FC Cincinnati won in the round of 3 against Columbus Crew. It did take all 3 matches for them to win. They won the first one there in Cincy, 1-0, and then got killed there in Columbus 4-0. But it was because Kubo got a red card and Columbus jumped all over them for that. But then in the third match at TQL, they won 2-1 with 2 goals from Brenner. Now for Miami, the same thing here. It took them all 3 matches to move on against Nashville. They won the first one 3-1 and then lost 2-1 there at Geodis Park, but ultimately winning 4-0 there at home in match day 3 against Nashville. Both Messi and Allende are on fire in great form. The last time that these two teams played against each other, it was a 0-0 draw, but that was in Miami. The last time that they played against each other at TQL was on July 16th, and Cincinnati won that match 3-0. And yes, Messi did play in that match. Cincinnati are 9-3-5 there at home this season, where Inter Miami are 8-5-4 on the road. Cincinnati have a 4 wins and a loss in their last 5, where Miami have 4 wins and a loss in their last 5. This is probably going to be the most exciting matchup, in my opinion. Maybe that first match will be Vancouver and LAFC, but I think this is going to be the most exciting match of the conference semifinals. I really like what Cincinnati have been doing, especially uh, on the home side. Brenner is in, like I said, Brenner's in great form right now. Evander and team are looking good too, but Miami is just Messi is in great form. Allende is in great form. So this match for me, I'm going to have to go with Miami winning this. I know Cincinnati are good at TQL. This is a playoff match. The crowd is going to be way behind them in this, and I really think they're going to put up a great match. But with Messi and the Barca boys, a couple of them retiring, they're going to want to go out with a trophy, and I think that they're going to do whatever is possible to make it there. And like I said, Messi is just on fire right now. So I think that I have to go with Miami to move on here on the road. And I think Miami wins this match 3-1 over Cincinnati. Now, for our second match there on Sunday, we have the Philadelphia Union versus NYCFC. The Union beat Chicago Fire in the round of 3, or the best of 3 series. They drew the first match and then won in penalties, but then went on the road and won 3-0 over the Fire. Pretty easy for the Union to move on. NYCFC was just a little bit different there, and they got the job done against Charlotte, but in a very weird way. They win on the road in Charlotte, then they lose at home, and then go back on the road, and then they win on the road again. So that was pretty wild for NYCFC to get the job done in 2 road matches. A huge thing though for NYCFC, they've lost Martinez due to injury there in the international break. So that is a huge blow for NYCFC, and I think that that makes it where they lose this match. The last time that these two teams played, it was at Subaru Park, and Union won that match 1-0. So to me, it's going to be pretty defensive, like it usually is. I feel like NYCFC doesn't score a lot, and the Union not so much either. Though the Philadelphia Union there at home this season, 12 wins, 4 draws, and only a loss, where NYCFC are 6-5-6 there on the road. The Union currently on they have 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5, where NYCFC have 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5. Like I said, with Martinez losing NYCFC for this match, and they're at Subaru Park, I think that they might give Union a little bit of a fight, and I think it's going to be fairly close, but I think the Union will go up 2-0, and then NYCFC will get a goal late. But I think that's going to be the final score here. I think the Union win there at Subaru Park to move on in the playoffs 2-1 over NYCFC. For the last match here for the conference semifinals, Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, San Diego FC versus Minnesota United. San Diego got the job done there in the best of 3 series against Portland. They won the first, then they drew in the second match, but lost it in penalty kicks, then dominated at home there in the third match, winning 4-0, where Minnesota somehow got the job done against a strong Seattle Sounders side. They drew in match 1-0-0, but winning it in penalties. They lose 4-2 in match 2, but then in a very wild, very crazy third match, Minnesota somehow comes out on top in penalties with a 3-3 draw, and they were down a man since the 41st minute, and they were losing 2-1 against Seattle. At the time of the red card, they claw their way back and somehow win the match to move on to the conference semifinals. The last time that these two teams played, each other. It was in San Diego. Minnesota won that match 3-1 there at Snapdragon Stadium. So will that happen again here? Will Minnesota get the job done? This season, San Diego are 7-5-5 there at home, while Minnesota are 8-6-3 on the road. San Diego in their last 5 matches, 4 wins and a draw in their last 5 matches. Minnesota, a win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5 matches. Yes, those draws are counting the playoffs because that's how it is. Yes, they moved on. They won ultimately in penalty kicks, but in the first 90, that's what it was. Minnesota have battled and battled and have gotten the results this season and have had a wonderful season, in my opinion. And I really like what they have done. But San Diego are in really good form right now, especially building off of that 4-0 victory in their match day 3 in the best of 3 series. Maybe the break will help Minnesota, the international break. Maybe it'll help San Diego. It's very much up in the air, but I do believe that this match is going to be the only one in the conference semifinals here that will go to penalties. I think this one's going to go to penalty kicks. I think it's going to end in a 2-2 draw, but ultimately, with San Diego being at home, I think they win this match, and I think San Diego move on to the conference finals to play against LAFC. So that is it for my video, my preview, my predictions. Tell me down below what your predictions are. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like the content, and we will see you for the watch alongs.